So Sarah Sutton, in case you don't know her, she's on AuthorTube, and I will link her channel in the description, did a challenge from another author who did it from another author. I will put the original person who did it in the description. I have to go back and watch Sarah's video again to find out her name. But I will put her channel in the description as well. But it's a challenge. It's called If I Weren't an Author, Author Tag. So this is basically what life would be like if I had never become an author. So the first question is, what would be your new creative outlet? This one's easy. So I don't really talk about it on this channel, but if you've ever followed me on Facebook, you know that I'm into photography. I don't get to do it very often, but I do enjoy photography. And then before, well, not before I became an author, but kind of in the beginning of my author career, I was working as a photographer at Sears. Didn't really love the whole portrait photography thing. For me, it's nature photography that's better. But I think if I weren't an author, that's the route I probably would have taken, is photography as my creative outlet. I don't know that it would have been a career. I did go to college for it, but I don't think it would have become a career because I don't really like taking photos of what people tell me to take. And I don't think I ever would have, I mean, I don't know, but I don't think I've ever would have gotten to a point where I would have been good enough to like be in National Geographic or anything like that, because I never really had opportunities to travel on things to get really great pictures. But I don't know if that would have happened if I hadn't become an author. So there's no way of really telling what would have happened in life. So would you still do YouTube? Probably not. I didn't really even watch YouTube before I discovered AuthorTube. YouTube just wasn't really in my vocabulary, I guess. I did turn it on occasionally so that my cat could watch birds and stuff, but other than that, I mean, and sometimes I watch like clips of shows and stuff that are not on anymore, like Whose Line Is It Anyway and stuff like that. But otherwise, YouTube wasn't really, I mean, I didn't even consider YouTube as a thing, really. I mean, I didn't like watch gaming videos or anything like that, so yeah, I definitely would not have done YouTube, because I don't think, well, first of all, I don't think I would have had any content to post, but secondly, I don't think I would have been confident enough to do YouTube. Back before I became an author, I was basically nothing, nobody. I kind of just faded into the background. I mean, I had my best friend and I had my family, but I was quiet. I was, you know, unsocial, which I have social anxiety, so sometimes I'm still unsocial, but it was really unsocial before becoming an author. Becoming an author really changed things a lot. So yeah, so no, I wouldn't have done YouTube. What would your new dream job be? I don't really like the whole dream job aspect. I mean, yeah, it would be great to be a full-time author and actually live off of that, but I wouldn't call it my dream. I don't really have a dream job. I mean, I'm interested in a lot of things, so I don't really think I have a dream job. I do think if I had not become an author, well, I was going to say I'd become a cop, because I did want to be a cop. But if I had never become an author, I don't think I ever would have been brave enough to go to school for criminal justice. Yeah, I don't think criminal justice would be a thing, which means I wouldn't have a paralegal degree. And wow, a lot of stuff would be different if I wasn't an author. Because becoming an author really built up my confidence, built up, you know, how I was able to interact with people. So I'm not really sure what my job would be if I wasn't an author. I mean, being an author is not my job. I have a business. I am an editor. But I don't think I would have been an editor either if I hadn't become an author, because that's the whole reason I got into editing, is because I started connecting with other authors. So I don't know what my job would be. I have no idea. That's interesting to think about. I have no clue. Would you still consume author content? Probably not. I didn't really consume author content until I started becoming an author. I didn't connect with authors. I didn't go to signings. I didn't really even consider the author, honestly. I mean, yeah, I paid attention to, oh, I like this author's book, so I'm going to buy more. But I didn't really think of, like, that you could connect with authors on Facebook or, any of that stuff. So, probably not. How many friends would you have not made? A lot. A lot. One of my best friends, Lynn Howard, definitely would not have met her. And I would not have met a lot of people. Yeah. Most of my friends are online, on Facebook, on YouTube, I don't have a lot of in real life friends. I have my best friend and, I have a couple acquaintances, but I wouldn't call them friends. So yeah, I would not have made a lot of friends. Probably would have just been me and my best friend. That would have been it. Wow. I can't imagine not having those people in my life, so that's a little freaky to think about. Would you still read as much as you do now? Probably. I mostly read for my business now, but I don't think that if we take that into account, I don't think I would have read more or less if I wasn't doing that. I think I would have it would have balanced out. I think I would have been reading more books for pleasure than for my business, but I think it would have been still about the same amount because I'm not a fast reader. I mean, different books take different times, but I really like to digest a book. What are words? So I take longer to read. So yeah, I don't think it would have been more. Yeah. Which part about being an author would you have missed most? All of it, honestly. I would miss all of it. Maybe not so much the reviews and stuff. I think I could do without some of that criticism, but constructive criticism is one thing. We've talked about this. I'm talking about the rude ones. But I think in general, probably the thing I would miss the most is seeing it all come together, seeing something that was my idea come together. And I don't actually mean like first draft. I mean, that's great too, but like I would think I would miss when you get to the end of the process and like it's going through the proofreader and the book cover is being made, and I think I would miss all that because I've always written stories, even if they were just short little nothings when I was little. But it wasn't it wasn't until I became an author with my first book, Love Clause, that I got to see the whole process of a book coming to life. Like I never, bound my stories or anything. They were just loose pieces of paper just in a folder or something. And I usually probably didn't even look at them after I wrote them. So yeah, I think I'd miss that. I think, okay, let's put some perspective here. Even if I had never become a published author, I would still be a writer because I always wrote. But they would have been just for me, and they would have been not as important, I guess. But yeah, I even if I wasn't an author, I'd still be a writer. So yeah. How different would your life look in general? I don't know. I really don't know. As I said, probably would not be as confident, as socially aware, even though I am still quite awkward. I wouldn't have made as many friends. I wouldn't know anything about the book world. It would just be books and Barnes and Noble again. I wouldn't think about how books are made or published or any of that stuff. I wouldn't know anything. I wouldn't have become an editor. Like I said, I probably never would have become a paralegal because editing was the only thing that really gave me the confidence to go to criminal justice in college. I wouldn't be talking to you guys because I wouldn't be talking to many people because I was very quiet before I became an author. I was never able to put myself out there like that. I barely even talked to my best friend's family because I just was so shy. Life would have been a lot different. A lot different. But luckily, I don't have to think about that because I am an author, and if you guys would like to check out my books, I will leave the link to my Amazon page in the description. Some of them are wide, but most of them are Amazon exclusive, and that's mostly where I get my sales. So I always share the Amazon link. But if you were looking for a specific link, sorry about that, school bus, just let me know. I will absolutely provide you with a specific link. I have 10 books and several short stories. I've been doing this for about 14 years, which kind of shocked me a little bit when I figured that out the other day. And hopefully I'm going to be doing it for 14 more. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that fun little author tag. I actually really did. Sarah never actually tagged me, but she said, to try it. So I did. And it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of existential thought, I guess is what I want to say. It was surreal. Let's put it that way. So I thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing and liking. And I would love to hear your comments, especially if you're an author. If you're going to do this tag, let me know. Or if you want to just give me your answers in the comments, I'd love to hear them. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.